welcome back to the good old Southern IA. It has been, geez, it's been probably 10 days or so since I've picked up the GoPro to do a vlog for planting, because we've just been getting rained out and rained out and rained out. Still haven't fixed my door, and for some reason every video I continue to show you guys my oats, so here's my oats. Come on. And honestly, what we've been getting would be like the perfect mid-July rains. We were just getting like 2 to 3 tenths of rain every single day, it seemed like. So it just kept it wet enough where we couldn't get into the fields. But now, today we might be back after it. Most of the beans that we planted in the last session of bean planting are up. I wouldn't say that hey, that's just a truck. Stop. But for a guy that plants beans right around Lake Rathbun, which happens to be a phone call. My dad. Hello. Yep, I'm on my way. Yeah, I saw there's a chance of rain at like 10 or something. Okay. All right, bye. No signs out here. But yeah, farming next to Lake Rathbun, that's a flood control plain, so they will close the dam and they will flood my beans. Our records, they flood it to some degree about 20% of the time. A lot of rain gets you a little nervous about them closing the floodplains, or closing the gates and flooding it. So a few things that we've been doing, I guess you could say. The beans are looking pretty decent as it starts to sprinkle on me. So here's my cereal fry. So here's the cereal rye field, planted green. It's looking great. It's looking really darn nice, other than the fact that the cereal rye is still alive. Haven't had the chance to spray it yet because we've actually got some corn pre-emerged still on the sprayer, because we still got like 35 acres of corn to plant. Oh yeah, and then on top of that, you know, it's been wet. Oh, being undecisive today, I guess. And then in also that 10 days, Dad and I went and did a little shopping. We ended up buying another 12-wheel rake here. It's not new, but it was gently used. It's an H&S, which I really don't know anything about, but it seems to be a popular brand around here, I guess. Who knows why. But it's a high-capacity rake. We'll be running 2 rakes. The Vermeer's still over there. That's an effort to hopefully be able to get a lot more hay up in higher quality, getting it raked and dried quicker. See if that helps. You know, it kind of gives us a little diversity too. If one rake breaks, you can still keep raking. I also decided it was time to get myself a dumpster. Need a dumpster. Give Tim a call. Good guy. Not really a necessity for the shop, but man, that's going to be nice just to be able to, when you get trash, to put it in the dumpster. Concrete still not poured, but we're working on that as well. I got the hammer drill bit to put the rebar into the old concrete. Just got to get the hammer drilling. Andrew and I serviced the Kubota skid steer. I think I've stated this in the past. It's like, it amazes me how many hours we're putting onto this skid steer. Dad hauled 125 ton of rock here the other day. I can play you guys some clips of that stuff. Let's just remember to use an impact to put this on, and then trade it so that the next person can do this too. What the heck? Ready? Yep. Torque. I don't think it moved. I think it just slipped off. No, that's on there. Stuff that aggravates me. It's like things that should just be
simple.
Yeah. But somebody is like, oh, let's try and strong arm this filter like it's gonna fall off of there randomly. Whatever mattered. No, both my shoulders popping.
I heard that. That didn't sound too great. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a horrible noise. my dad's hauling rock today, 5 ton at a time, and he's got 100 ton to haul. And we're not complaining about hauling 5 ton at a time, but the problem with hauling 5 ton at a time is that your piles aren't very big, so you start really snaking your way all the way out there. And with 100 ton, that's 20 dump loads, so I gotta stockpile this real quick for him. That way he can keep dumping throughout the day. That was hard on my heart. And once you know, we done got ourselves rained out for the day again. Oh look, it's tomorrow now. And we foggy. My dad just called again and we pushed back starting again. Obviously because of the fog. So I'm headed to the bait shop, gonna go get myself some breakfast, a cup of coffee, relax for an hour, then we'll start work. Lake Rathbun. Very scenic this morning, I know. If you're ever down at Lake Rathbun fishing and you want to get yourself some breakfast, stop by Brownie's 3Bs. Order the Brown's Mess. 2 eggs over easy and gravy. That's the way I do it. What do you guys say we get to work? Holy smokes, once you know, there is actually a lake here. Haven't heard that sound in a week. I'm going back to planting. We're gonna fill it up right here. I don't know how much we'll get done today. I have to plant the soybean plot today too. We're gonna fill up the planter here before I head out. That way they can get the buggy ready to go for the rest of the day. Because that'll free somebody up from tending me basically, and because we got a lot of stuff planned this week. Looking good. And of course, my lovely girlfriend Molly is doing all that YouTube editing so that you guys can keep getting this consistent content. Oh, we're planting again? Holy smokes! It's been like 2 weeks. But yeah, she's the one bringing you all the content. As long as I keep carrying around this GoPro. All she asks is that you guys hit that thumbs up button to help support the channel. Heck, even subscribe if you haven't. We're closing in on 45,000. What's the chances of us hitting that by the time we actually finish planting? And of course, she always wants to give you a little bit of a warning that for some reason, if you don't hit the thumbs up button, she'll make sure after your 30 minutes of searching Netflix to find a video to watch. And when you finally find one, you click on it and it's actually in a foreign language and you have to read subtitles the entire time. That's one that there's absolutely nobody wants that. But we've got this shy 40 acres here done. This thing done first thing this morning. We're moving out. I think we might be going to plant the soybean plot today. We have a bunch of stuff going on this week. It's gonna be busy. My dad's either tilling right now or just got done tilling the CRP ground that I still got to plant the corn. That might get done today. If it doesn't, it'll probably be tomorrow. Otherwise, it looks like I have until next Monday, which today is a Tuesday, Tuesday after Memorial Day, to get the rest of the beans in the ground. That, I think, is doable as long as it doesn't rain. On top of that, we have a mess of spraying that needs done, which part of that is actually getting my cereal rye terminated, which it's way behind on. And then also to finish up planting beans, I actually need to get some hay mowed, so I think Andrew's gonna be working on mowing hay.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Hay season 2021. Let's roll.
Days, or less than 7 days, 6 days to get it all done. We'll see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is soybean plot time. We got the seed in here. We got our populations figured out, what the plot's actually going to look like. I already drove my AB line here to make sure that I was going to fit my plot in between where we stopped the last time and here. In the soybean plot this year, we're going to be doing population trial 120, 160, and 200, so 40K population jumps. I'm gonna try and plant the entire thing at 5.5 miles an hour in that area. There's not a big speed difference or anything like that. On top of the population, I'm going to be testing a treated versus an untreated soybean, and then I'm also going to be testing a 15-inch rows versus a 30-inch rows, and then we will have 3.4, 3.6, and 3.8 soybeans in this plot this year. Not as many numbers as normal, but we're kind of pressed for time a little bit, and I don't actually have any of the 3.2s that I want really to go into the ground. And as late as we are now, I really don't want to go past 3.8 too bad. Really don't even want to put the 3.8s in there. But let's get to planting some soybeans. On top of that though, since we're running the TerraStar X, I'm going to try and shove each one of these 15-inch rows actually in between the 30-inch corn rows. So I won't be planting on the corn rows. This corn, however, was planted last year on WAS, so it won't be perfect. But next year, hopefully, I should be able to plant all of the soybeans directly in between the corn rows by using last year's guidance lines. Perk of using that high of correction source. Today's lunch menu, leftover Memorial Day weekend burger. So to change the population on these Kinseys, these 3600 Kinseys, this is a ground drive wheel, drives off of that wheel, chain to the distribute box, and then here's your population chains. So to change the populations versus like the corn planter that has hydraulic drives where you can just hit a button and change the population, for this you got to change the sprockets, or I guess, you know, an electric drive would automatically do it too. And then you just look up in the book to what sprockets you want. For instance, this one I want 26 and 17, and someone might be thinking, what the heck, if they're around these Kinseys, they know that seems pretty high up there. I think that's 17, yep. And that is actually high up there. But on this planter, so I can plant at lower populations, it actually has a half rate kit on it, so that's a 15 tooth sprocket versus a 30 point sprocket. 32 tooth. Oh my gosh, that's, no, don't even try it, don't even try it. And so I'm trying to hit the 200,000 mark on this population. I've really got to look up in the book what 400,000 beans is, and that's how it works. Hello. You got a till? How to till up? Yeah. So, okay, yep, go ahead. I'm getting along. Pretty good. So, all right, bye. And for my non-farmers out there that might wonder why we test populations, well, essentially a few videos back I talked to you about how they sell soybeans by the unit now, and 140,000 soybeans from Champion is a unit of soybeans. So you pay per unit. So you buy the seed by the unit, and that just gives you a cost per unit of seed. So how that affects this is that the more seeds we put out there per acre obviously drives up our cost of our seed per acre. So if you can grow just as good as soybeans or even better soybeans with less seeds per acre, therefore you can lower your seed input costs, make you more profitable. Now, there's some caveats to that. I think the later you go into the season, the more seeds per acre you actually have to push out because you don't have as much growing time. But if you're early planting soybeans, they'll branch out and fill in the gap, and I think lower populations might have a place for that. But essentially, that's why guys will test lower populations, is to, in theory, try and cut their cost of their seed per acre by planting less seeds. Okay, we are closing in on getting this plot done here. Once again, I kept track of all the colors, which is the hybrid names, which is whatever we decided to test this year, and I'll put everything that we decided to test right here. But if you look closely here, you can see that purple strip right there. There's actually a little bit of a gap in between each one of those, so you can actually see that's the 30-inch row soybeans. Once we get done with this, I'll have a little bit to clean in or fill in over in here. Not a big deal. We'll fill up this planter because we're going to try and get done planting at some point. We'll be taking you guys along with us, but we're going to end the video there. So if you guys haven't yet, don't forget the thumbs up button on the way out, and we'll see you in the next one.
Hey everybody, you're watching the iowANFarmer Andrew edition, or segment. Might not be an edition. So, as you can see, we're mowing hay today. First cutting of 2021 for us. So I thought I'd show you a little bit of what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and what I'm doing it with. We'll start off with what I'm doing. We're mowing this grass that's, some of it's pretty tall. Most of it's knee-high, so it's pretty decent, pretty thick stuff. What I've done here is I've mowed 6 times around this field. So now I'm going to start going back and forth. Mow 6 times around so I got room to turn, swing the mower the most efficient way, we think. So try to do it that way. So we're mowing this stuff off so we can let it dry. Like right there, that's pretty wet to the touch. So we'll give this several days. Potentially we could ted it. Maybe not. Then we'll rake it and bale her up. So, on to what I'm using. The 4440 hydraulic front wheel assist. Not mechanical. Hydraulic. 4440 hydraulic front wheel assist. There's been some debate about why we leave the duals on. Number 1, the boss man says so. Number 2, it would take effort to get them off. Number 3, when you're on a side hill and you're turning, and this big old John Deere mower starts pushing, feels good to have them on there. So, for those and other various reasons, the duals stay on, which doesn't hurt anything, other than you may rub your tongue if you're not careful. So, with the 4440, we're pulling the 946 Moco. I believe this is roughly 13 feet cut. They go wee in opposite directions. This one goes this way and this one goes this way. And we got the flails back in there that help crimp it a little bit. Not crimp, it's not the right word, but disturb it so it dries faster and better. And it pivots in the middle. So I can swing this all the way over to my right and all the way over to my left, which enables me to go back and forth on one side of the field. Works good. Let's get to it.